Last time on Improv Tabletop. In the fallout of the falling of the Empire State Building and also the Bean himself, our heroes gathered in the study to watch the CCTV footage of Master Brickithon being interrogated by Master Bartholomew, who was overtaken by the Squozniak, who had put a strange chip into his brain to alter his memory and make him forget all of these interrogations, wherein he gained as much information as he could about how to use the flowers that created the Squozniak to the greatest effect to be able to overtake the entire camp, to control individual people, even if they're not connected to the central mass. And you discovered that all of those flowers have been coming from a large rhizomous tuber-like weird nasty thing somewhere under the ground here in Camp Studston, and it is from this central mass that all of the rest of the Squozniak tainted people have been controlled. So with this new information, you geared up for your final encounter. Oleg built himself a new weird mechanical hand, didn't remove any of his luck, but did level up. So we'll see what happens with Oleg, if maybe he ends up getting a little more doomed this episode. We'll see. Oh, and he also remembered his history, in which Gorbachev also put a chip into his head. Pilfer also had a chip in his head, but it was a different chip that was giving him his precognition ability. Other stuff that he did some more espionage to help himself kind of clear his mind. And Master Brickithon took some solace in his studies and made himself better at reading. And the entire group as a whole decided that they wanted a tank to lead into this final episode, this final confrontation. So they upgraded the once Argo, now golf cart into a tank with the haunted camera on the front of it to give them some extra supernatural seeing abilities. It's all covered with weapons and cool stuff. And with that, we are now ready to lead into the final confrontation. And what's that confrontation going to look like? Let's find out here in the world of the Tension Builders. What's shaking, everybody? You're listening to Improv Tabletop, The Tension Builders, the Bump in the Dark actual play, where we're making up everything on the spot and everything is in a place where it makes sense. I am Ned Wilcock, your host and GM, and today I'm joined by
Caleb Anderton, prepared to protect those around me perfectly.
Christian Randall, ready to retire.
Evan Peterson, ready to walk the plank of destiny.
Ooh. So poetic.
I like that.
I suppose when one's doom is placed in front of them, it stirs the soul a little bit. Now, we have a big old nasty, weird flower bulb to destroy, so let's just get right into our showdown questions and see how many dice we're going to get for this final showdown engagement roll. So, first, identify what is the creature or phenomenon.
It's our old nemesis.
The Squozniak.
The Squozniak, the Brickithon, the goo.
The non-hard plastic material.
Mm-hmm. Explain, what does it want or why is it here / happening?
It wants to subsume everything.
Yep.
Everything.
And why is it here? I don't know, maybe some old man made it?
All right, that's enough. I know, I've already said sorry. I created it all those years ago. And now it's time to get rid of it once and for all.
I am only razzing. I am not upset. Just razzing.
All right. And finally, how can it be hurt, killed, or dealt with?
A tank.
Hopefully.
Destroying the bulb.
Yes.
Because flowers aren't going to work anymore because it has taken over the flowers.
Yep.
Become one with the bulb.
Yes, it has centralized itself into one mass, and it is only by destroying that mass that the entire thing can be defeated. Now, we're going to roll 3 dice, and we don't have any guests to ruin our math, so everybody gets 1.
Roll a die. And I'm assuming this is also kind of going to be the same as the last one, where this determines our position, not how correct we are.
You guys don't want at the last moment to suddenly realize, actually, surprise.
Everything you thought was wrong.
Everything you know is wrong, like that Weird Al song that is a parody of They Might Be Giants.
I got a 3.
Ooh.
I got a 2.
Ooh.
I got a 1.
Oh!
Now I got a rock.
Well, everybody, you are in a difficult position when you start this confrontation.
There's no spending luck or anything to help these, right?
Oh, man.
Not on the engagement rolls.
I don't know. Can we do a resistance roll on the engagement roll? I'm not entirely sure. I feel like I read something about how the resistance roll is specifically not able to be used for showdown rolls.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A 1, 2, and 3. That feels appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, you're so confident here in your tank. Nothing can hurt us. Look at this. We're on top of the world. Start driving out of the haunted campsite, and the very first thing that happens is there is a section of the bunker that you haven't explored yet that collapses out from beneath you and just dumps you into a dark pit in the middle of the earth.
Oh, my bad.
So, first things first, we're going to get an 8 clock for you to find your way to the Squozniak. In addition to the 8 clock we're going to have for fighting the Squozniak itself.
Okay. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my glasses smugly.
He does in real life.
And then activate the lights on the Flying Dutchman. Because I happen to know the Flying Dutchman has some pretty impressive lights.
And some pretty impressive solar panels as well.
Yeah.
The lights go on.
All right, I will drive. I will need your help. I will use Baby Driver to make this go as smoothly as possible.
All right, so that is our first step. You look around you in this room of the bunker, and it looks like it was maybe, I don't know, a warehouse sort of storage area of some kind. There are these very tall stacks of shelves that are holding crates, some of them wrapped up in very old, yellowed, kind of disintegrating plastic. Some of them kind of popped half open. Just these long sort of tunnels, these hallways created in between these large stacks of shelves here. There's debris kind of tossed here and there across the floor. So I think because it's a little bit trickier of terrain, we might want to have you, let's say, scramble to try and get over all of this stuff.
That's what I was hoping.
All right, and with Baby Driver, you get +1 die.
It looks like the back rooms down here. And I roll, and that's a 5.
Okay, partial success.
Not bad.
So we're going to mark off here 2 ticks on the clock. You start moving through this warehouse completely hidden from any other eyes for goodness knows how long. You are driving over stuff, you hear crunching and cracking of various things as you drive over it. Like one crate pops open and you can see out of it spill a bunch of accessories, like a bunch of those, we'll say the epaulets that you would get for a Sea Admiral Lego minifig. You crunch over another one and it's a whole box full of loose hands that goes spilling out all over the place. And one of the things that you crack over, you're like, ooh, that sounded a little worse than the other ones. And you look down and see it is a skeleton minifig that you've just driven over the top of. There are a few more of them scattered around wearing caps. It looks like they were working on something down here when something broke bad.
Are they scout caps?
They are Soviet caps.
I knew it.
Dutchman, dim the lights a little. All right, I drive. We need to get out of here.
I am going to activate my Lingering Sense ability. When you touch something that belongs to someone or is a piece of a larger whole, you can know their general location and condition. So, knowing that the Brickithon has taken over the bulb of the flowers, I'm going to take one last dried little flower out of my satchel and use my Lingering Sense to see if I can help guide us towards the bulb.
The bulb.
All right, so you're going to push your luck to activate your monstrous ability and then choose one. You lose control, you suffer a condition, or the keeper takes a string on you.
I'll give you a string.
All right.
I mean, you kind of have to bring them all to bear during this episode now, right?
Yep, and I've got, if you give me this other one, that means I have 5.
That's a lot.
But only one is against you specifically.
Do I want to suffer a condition instead?
Are you feeling perhaps exhausted, void-touched, afraid, or angry?
I will say angry.
All right. Master Brickithon cannot benefit from teamwork. What is fueling your anger so much at this point, do you think?
I'm going to say that this anger is directed at myself.
Self-loathing.
I caused this a long time ago. I thought that we had solved it another while ago. We haven't. This just keeps coming back to haunt me, and I'm angry.
So I think you pull out this flower, kind of scowl at it, and using your Lingering Sense, you project your mind outwards as you have in the past, and you feel something very nearby pinging sort of off of your mind sonar, as it were, and you realize, oh, it's the haunted camera. You find your senses connecting with the senses of the haunted camera.
Ooh.
And the rest of you can see on the little display that is rigged up to it, there is a little blip that appears kind of off in the distance. You're like, okay, that's kind of small, but as you move and start like going around the different shelves, around the crates, you realize, oh, that's not a small blip that is close by. That is a very big blip that is far off. But you have now kind of like X-ray piercing, like a quest marker essentially, through all of the stuff that is in between you and it. You have a direct lock on where the Squozniak is.
I like it.
How many ticks does that tick for us?
We're going to tick off 2. Now, Oleg's consequence. You're driving along, and now you've got your clear heading, so you're paying a little bit less attention to the road itself, because you're like, I know this is the direction I have to go at least. And you feel like as you're going up over one of the piles of debris, one of the wheels just like gets caught and stops turning. And you look back to see what is wrong, and you can see that there is a conglomeration of different pieces of Lego minifig skeleton, all just kind of piled up together, held together by this thick, nasty purple goop, clinging onto that wheel, preventing it from turning, and this whole shambling conglomeration, this glom, is pulling itself up the pile of debris onto the back of the tank.
I'm gonna use some plot armor for the very first time in this entire game.
Look at that.
Monkey sunglasses time. I'll put on some cool sunglasses, and I look at the camera and I say, all part of plan. Because we have studied this Squozniak more thoroughly than anyone else. You know, we are basically pros. So I will pull the lever. Actually, no. Pilfer, pull the lever.
Aye, aye. And I'll pull the lever.
And that will switch us from diesel to Squozniak power.
Ooh.
So hopefully this will get sucked up and we can go even faster and get away.
Huh, somebody watched Project Hail Mary over the weekend, didn't they?
I did. It's a very good movie. Good book, too.
Yeah. So you flip the switch and all of the goop starts getting pulled like... It's not so much like a vacuum as it is like ferrofluid being attracted and moving across this surface towards a magnetic source. So it all starts getting pulled into the Squozniak tank that you've built onto the back of the Argo, the former Argo, the once Argo, the now tank. I am going to pull a string on that. So you resist the original complication.
And I get a new one.
Yeah, the complication I'm going to add to it now is the interchange system between the two fuels was a little bit faulty. So now suddenly you're running on double fuel. And so you push the accelerator and you go flying like a ramp off of this pile of debris and onto the top of one of the high shelves where a bunch of the crates are. And as you kind of slam up on top of there, you look around and see that in the darkness, eyes are opening at this huge noise that has been created, hanging from the girders and iron rafters of the ceiling. And you hear flapping and squeaking noises beginning.
Oh, why did it have to be bats? I'm driving.
All right.
Man the gun.
Yeah, so Pilfer, you are, I believe, manning the guns. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, it makes most sense.
So you look around, and as the sensors from the ghost camera start picking up all of these beings flying in, you see these terribly, horribly mutated man-bat minifig-like creatures flying in from all around, trying to get at you. You have invaded their territory. These guys aren't even related to the Squozniak. They're just angry that you're here making all this noise.
It's like the opposite of Lego Batman. These are Lego Man-Bats.
Well, anyway, I started blasting.
Yeah. So you, using the various bits of weaponry built into the tank here, would we say that you are wrecking, hunting perhaps? Are you firing warning shots, trying to compel them to stay away from you?
Oh, well, if you're going to be that polite to give me the one I have 2 in, but I do think actually, I mean, it would be smart to take the one that I have 2 dots in, but I want to destroy them.
All right.
So I think I'm trying to wreck.
Very good.
And I'm engaging in the gambler's fallacy, where all my rolls today have been bad, so surely I'm due for a good one, even though statistically that doesn't make sense.
Perfect. So that's going to be 1d6 to wreck.
Every roll today has been a 2 or a 3.
All right.
Every roll.
Okay.
It's a 2.
Would you like to maybe push your luck or make a deal with the darkness? Try and get another die off of that.
I'll push my luck.
Can I push my luck to help him instead?
So if you help, you only have to mark 1 luck in order to give him an additional die.
I'll do that. I will. I'll start guiding him with my extra senses, and that I'm kind of connected to the ghost camera. Like I can see a lot of things going on around here, and I'll start guiding his shots.
So it's going to be 1 more die for Pilfer,
Okay.
This will be the 6.
or a 3 or a 2, based on Evan's face.
I know how the gambler's fallacy works. I understand that every time you roll a die, it's a 1 in 6 chance for every possible thing, but also, like, it still feels statistically improbable to roll this many 2s with this many dice rolls. Like, I don't understand. It just doesn't feel right in my brain that should be another 2. I've rolled 6 dice today, and I've had 4 2s and 2 3s.
Yes, welcome to the Unfair Flips RPG. If you have not heard of that video game, go check it out. It's a wild time.
Well, that's a 2.
Would you like to push your luck or make a deal with the darkness in addition to Master Brickithon's help?
I'd like to push my luck.
Okay.
Are you using digital dice?
Yes.
Refresh the page. I want you to get rid of whatever is going on there. Just refresh the page.
I refreshed the page. That's a 4.
Okay, partial success.
I'll take it at this point.
All right, so we're going to mark 2 ticks on this progress clock. So you are wrecking it. You're like shooting up into the ceiling, and not only are little weird mutated bits of man-bat flying all over the place, but also you're knocking down some of the girders from the top, and like Oleg is about to reach the end of one of these shelves that you're on top of, and a girder falls into place, and you're able to use that to ramp your way onto the next shelving unit, just moving through this huge warehouse space, and you finally do manage to like leap up onto a railing that leads into a hallway heading further into the complex. So you're kind of up on like the second story, as it were, of this complex now, zooming forward, and you can see that blip in the distance is starting to get larger and larger as you're moving towards it. But what complication is going to happen from that partial success? Now that you are getting closer to the domain of the Squozniak, you're getting further away from the parts of the bunker that have been unseen by any, living creature aside from the weird cave denizens for who knows how long. You're starting to actually get into the domain of the Squozniak itself, the place where it's maybe set up some defenses. So I think you pull out into this large sort of parking garage looking area, and you can see that there is a big blockade that has been set up, and behind it are a bunch of creatures that are 0 brick whatsoever, just these strange, knobbly, twisted, ropey masses of goop and vine and plant matter. They are behind this blockade that's been set up with like all of these concrete barriers. One of them has a chain gun and is going to start shooting at you guys.
I'm sorry, a chain gun?
Yeah, this is a Soviet bunker. Of course there's weird experimental weapons in here.
At least that seems to be made of brick.
O great block in the sky, guide his hands. Pilfer, shoot. I'm going to invoke Eldritch Secrets. I'm going to try to imbue my hands, weapons, or tools with occult energy, which I can channel into an attack. I'm holding onto the steering wheel, so this whole thing is going to be shooting extra potent Eldritch stuff.
All right, so go ahead and push your luck to activate your monstrous ability, and then do you lose control, suffer a condition, or do I take a string on you?
Call me a puppet, because you taking another string.
All right, so I'm immediately going to spend one of the old strings that I had on you.
Oh, no.
As you push your occult energy. So much occult energy goes shooting into the circuitry that the haunted camera, you hear just like a pop and a fizzle and a and all of the sensors from the haunted camera go dark.
Oh no, now it's just a camera.
Oh,
No, the camera itself is completely broken.
Oh no, now it's a nothing.
Oleg, that hurt in my brain.
So imagine like in a Cybertruck, for example, they don't have like a rear view mirror or side view mirrors because you've got cameras, right? But what happens if those cameras break?
You are in trouble. You're driving a dumpster without any cameras.
Yep.
Well, at least we know the direction. I'm pedal to the floor, eyes glowing, going straight to where I last saw that blip.
All right. So, Pilfer, you have been encouraged to fire at the thing that is firing at you.
I'll fire.
All right. We going for wreck again?
Yeah.
Does he get any boost from my magical boost?
From your, you know what? You are helping, so if you mark 1 of your luck, then you can give him an additional die.
In addition to the 2 I marked to activate it?
You know what? You make a good point. We'll just give him an extra die for help.
I mean, if you want me to, I'll do it. I'll doom myself before we even start fighting.
6.
Okay.
Gambler's fallacy is paid off.
There
Nice.
is such a thing.
Finally. So that is a full success with no drawbacks. So you start firing into this blockade, and bits of the, like, you're picking up entire concrete roadblock. What's the official term for those things? So like just the big block of concrete.
Barricade?
Pylons?
Maybe. We'll say it's pylons. You're like picking up these entire huge concrete pylons and tossing them backwards with the force of the explosions. And they're like picking up these weird non-brick creatures and slamming them up against walls, slamming them up against support pillars that are holding up this big sort of like parking garage looking area. And some of the pillars even like break out and you can hear rumbling coming from above you. So Oleg, you put pedal to the metal, driving as fast as you can, skidding around bits of concrete roof as they're falling down on top of you. You can see off in the distance another exit. And so you go shooting through there and you land in the middle of this large sort of unfinished chamber. We have completed the final 2 ticks to arrive at the Squozniak.
Sorry, pylons are something completely different. Found it. Those big old concrete things in the middle of a median, like separating stuff on the road, those are called Jersey barriers.
Jersey barriers.
The Jersey Devil Barrier.
So yeah, you go flying through a couple of Jersey barriers shooting off on each side of you in this dramatic entrance, skid to the ground on complete bare dirt. And you look up above you and see the walls of this cavern, the ceiling also bare dirt. There are tunnels leading off in a bunch of different directions, leading to other finished areas of the bunker. But in this place, it seems that the Squozniak, with all of its root systems, has torn it apart, just leaving this huge, empty, cavernous chamber. And looking up at the ceiling, you can see that large mass, that weird bulb kind of pulsating and undulating in strange, almost gelatinous-like movements. And from up above, you can see it reach a couple tendrils down, and with these disquieting, dripping, kind of squelching noises, it's a couple things plop onto the earth beneath it, and more of those figures start to rise up out of the goop and move their way towards you. You can see the cords in the arms and the legs bunching and writhing across each other amidst all of this strange Icarus goo as they start moving towards you. So now,
Are these muscles?
have you ever played Resident Evil 7 and 8?
Yes, the new one.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine a molded, basically.
Okay.
So yeah, they start shambling their way towards you. We have an 8 clock now to defeat the Squozniak itself, our final clock of the campaign. What would you like to do?
Shoot it with a flamethrower.
All right. You go rushing in, guns a-blazing, and, I mean, is this going to be wreck again?
I guess it has to be.
I mean, you've hunted this thing, right? Is hunt stronger for you?
No, they're the same.
Okay.
I'm gonna wreck it.
I'm gonna wreck
And before I even roll, I'm gonna push my luck because I'm using a bomb.
All right.
That's a 6.
There we go.
Okay.
Nice.
So the flamethrower does not explode on your back. But I am going to pull one of my strings that I can use for anybody, and you can feel it shaking even more violently on your back, but just like huge gouts of flame you're able to, like, you catch a couple of the weird molded creatures as they're falling down from the central mass, completely incinerate them, and the entire side of this thing lights up, and like styrofoam being burned and melted away, you see it contracting and retreating from the flame in these weird pocked craterous areas, entire swathes of it just like vaporizing up into the air. So that's going to be 2 ticks on the 8 clock there, but you can hear like a hissing and kind of squealing noise now coming from the tank on your back.
That sounds scary. I'm going to attempt to hack the planet by, I guess the question should be, is this a hardware or a software issue? I want to try and fix the tank.
Oh, with the tank itself. All right. Let's have you roll to rig, I suppose. And since you are investigating to try and find the source of the problem, that gives you 1 extra die for your hack the planet ability. So that's going to give you, I believe, 4 dice.
Nice.
3, 1, 3, 3.
Oh,
I would like
To push your luck.
what happens if I mark Doom?
If you mark Doom, everybody's favorite section of the book.
Master Brickithon would see this going on and want to actively protect Oleg from Doom and help you out and give you a die before that Doom happens.
Okay.
Ooh, wait, I'm sure you would, but you can't benefit from teamwork. Does that mean you can still offer teamwork because you are angry?
If I can't benefit, that means somebody else can't help me through teamwork. I still think I can help them.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, to clear angry, you make a rash action that others can't ignore. I think my read on this would be the benefit would be giving you a benefit to your role. So I think you can still help, but you can't accept help from anybody else because you are too self-loathing at this point.
Sounds good to me. I'll mark a luck.
I will roll once more. That's a 6.
Okay.
Yes.
You saved my bacon.
Thank you, Gambler's Fallacy.
We love you, Gambler's Fallacy.
I think in this instance, it's kind of the main problem is the fact that you were relying so much on the haunted camera in order to help you navigate. You could fix this by putting some holes in the side of the tank so you can actually see out through them. That would, kind of limit a bit of the protectiveness of the tank.
All right.
But in this instance, like, it is a software issue that has led to a hardware issue.
Then I make a request.
Like what?
My request is, I've got eldritch secrets burning in me right now. I realize I can't fix this right now unless I use perhaps voices from beyond. I want to use that energy in me to, I guess, act as help. It's gonna look around for us and it's gonna say, shoot over here, kill this guy, he's gonna hurt you.
Yeah, gain special insight into the current situation. Yeah, I'll say we're going to, because of that successful roll, mark off 2 ticks on the progress clock towards defeating the Squazniak. Now, would you like to push your luck in order to activate Voices from Beyond?
Oh, that would sort of defeat the purpose.
Now, here's what happens if your Doom track is full.
Okay.
You can stay in the scene if you give into your inner darkness, lash out, hurt someone you care about, or go too far. Or if you hold off the darkness inside you, you can take a final action with increased impact before collapsing, being left for dead, or otherwise being temporarily taken out of the scene, only to come back later changed.
I'm gonna push my luck.
All right.
To activate Voices from Beyond, and I'm a monkey with glowing eyes and a giant metal robot hand, and I'm going to basically every single little connection piece on me is glowing with eldritch energy as I'm basically I'm kind of a battery at this point, just charging up the weapons and everything else. So I'm supporting my team as an arcane battery.
All right. So this is allowing you to take a final action with increased impact. So what we're going to do is, instead of just the 2 ticks on the progress clock, we're going to mark 3 ticks on the progress clock. So with this now, like special insight into the current situation. Wait, you also get increased impact from following up on voice. Oh, but that's other people. So now
Everybody else will get increased impact.
yes. Okay.
Hopefully.
So with the special insight into the current situation, Oleg pumping his life essence essentially into the tank, you can all see now through the walls of the tank as if they were spectral, but they remain hard and firm, protecting you from the outside. So now any of you following up on this get increased impact. So technically the next action could take out the Squozniak.
I haven't acted yet.
Yes. So much self-remorse. You see now in front of you, like, the weakened form squealing. You can hear the terror coming from it as it just, like, resonates throughout the entire chamber, half on fire, just burning away rapidly. And for just a moment, you could swear that you see somewhere in the center of that mass, Master Bartholomew's face peering out, rage, face contorted in anger, screaming hatred towards you.
Oh boy. How do I do it? I want to take this thing out. How do I take it out?
You created it. You are the perfect one to destroy it.
And remember, you can always push your luck. Regardless of what you do, you can always push your luck if you think you can justify how it's read.
How can you read the Squozniak to death?
I take out the Tolkien appendices and start reading the most boring part and just bore it to death. I am going to walk up below where it's clinging to the ceiling and dripping and oozing and all nasty, and I am going to take out the book that I once had put my memories into. So this book can contain things. And I am going to open the book, thrust it over my head, and suck the entire Squozniak inside the book and contain it. It's going to be Reed. I'm pushing my luck.
All right. I have an idea for how this could work narratively if you get a good enough roll.
Okay.
And you do get increased impact?
Yes. So it's 3d6, and if you succeed, it's going to knock out the final 3 ticks on this 8 clock.
All right.
Get a 6.
That's a 6. That's 2 6s and a 5.
Wait, 2 6s?
5.
That's a critical.
A critical with increased impact.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you have this moment of clarity. You're thinking back to the CCTV footage. Like, the very last thing you saw in that office was Mr. Bean walking up to the Squozniak in the form of Master Bartholomew and handing him a piece of paper from your journal. And Master Bartholomew reading it and looking nervous and afraid and disconcerted by it. And in the moment, you weren't able to pick up the details because it was fuzzy, it was hazy. But now, with this extra insight from Oleg's magical, monstrous abilities, you think back to that memory of, like, what would have been on that page. I wrote it. And you remember that the flowers have this ability to alter our perceptions. When we breathe those terpenes in, not only do they help to communicate the different parts of it to each other, but they have a way of potentially altering our own perception of the world around us. You realize the Squozniak is not so much a physical manifestation as it is an illusory manifestation of all of your own self-doubts.
Whoa.
That has taken on a tangible form by the power of how much you are hating yourself in this moment.
Well, that's what I do then. I let go, and like I placed my memories into that book long ago, I place all that anger and all that self-loathing into the book.
Yes, and you think back to the first time that you had a big, what you thought was going to be a final encounter against this creature, and you remember your brother, Commander Brickithon, looking you in the eye, saying, the only thing can stop this is all the love in somebody's heart. And you now, in this moment, kind of looking across time at him and realizing, what if I put all of the hatred and anger and self-doubt in my heart into it instead? This moment where you kind of connect across these two different moments of time. You can feel the energy leaping out from the pages, this manifestation of everything that you hate about yourself beginning to crumble away into just bits of ether that are sucked down into the pages of this book. It lifts up this huge cloud of darkness and dust and ashes that blow out past all of you. And in the silence that follows, looking down in the center, you can see, as it begins to fade away, kind of these two figures getting up off the ground, looking around in confusion. The fog and the mist continues to disperse away, the dust continues to settle, and you hear Master Bartholomew's voice saying, Commander Brickithon, I haven't seen you in ages. Where have you been? Oh, well, this is wild. Last I saw, I was up at the campsite. Do you remember the last thing you saw? Oh, the last thing I saw, I was up in my office. This is strange.
I stand there, absolutely shocked, and I drop the book, and I go over and I hug my brother.
You reach out towards this figure. You're rushing, each step taking you closer, tears streaming down, painted onto your face. And you reach out to grasp at this figure, and it poofs into a cloud of dust in your arms. For just a moment, you're like, wait, what? And then you hear raucous laughter from behind you. Hey, I knew you'd fall for it.
I spin around. Is he actually there?
He's actually there.
I hit him. And then I hug him.
He embraces you as well.
I'm gonna take my eye patch and I'm gonna move it over to hide a tear that's forming in my eye. And I'm just gonna move it, and the other one just has like an X where there's a missing eye. And for the next 5 minutes, I'm just not gonna be able to see.
Brother, I am so glad that you are here, but there is someone we need to check on.
And I go and I check on poor monkey battery Oleg. And I want to see if there's anything I can do for him.
I'm just silently, mouth open, shrieking silently into the void.
Yes, so when you choose to hold off the darkness inside of you, you take that final action before collapsing, being left for dead, or otherwise being temporarily taken out of the scene, only to come back later changed. Oleg, how do you think this experience is going to change you?
It will burn the monkey out of me. My newfound power, I lose it. The strength from my orangutan patron.
You lose your connection. I think for just like a moment, you are floating in this white abyss. You hear a voice off to the side. Well, didn't think I'd be seeing you again quite so quickly.
My mayor, you are... Where am I?
We finally made it to monkey heaven. Look at that. You're here. It's everything. All the pain is going to be gone. You're not going to have to worry about anything anymore. You're just going to be able to hang out here with me and we'll, I don't know, shoot craps and drink sarsaparilla.
Oh, that sounds marvelous.
You feel a sucking sensation as Master Brickithon revives you.
My mayor!
Well, guess you're going to have to find your way here another time.
You're sucked back into your own body. No afterlife for you yet.
Once more, I'm still missing a hand, but now I am again a foreign exchange student.
Mm-hmm.
What has happened?
Oleg, it was very selfless of you, but you did. We got it.
It is gone?
It's all here.
And I'll hold up the book.
Pilfer.
Aye.
You have a flamethrower?
Aye.
Still have flamethrower working?
Working, be a generous term. It's my back is very warm, and the noises that it be emanating, I'm frightened. If you would like to use it, I recommend we set it very far away.
Do you think we could use it to destroy this book?
Oh, aye, certainly.
Let's do that.
I have long string, which is Lego string, so it is not weird. I will use theoretical knot to tie to trigger, and we will go far away and blow up book.
Going back into the golf cart tank, driving away up to a far ridge overlooking the collapsed areas of the bunker. A big cloud of fire and smoke and explosions rising up into the sky. Each of you holding out a stick with a hot dog or a marshmallow on it. Let's get to a little epilogue, why not? What do we feel like everybody's doing in the wake, in the fallout, as it were, of finally defeating the last vestiges of the Squazniak?
I have decided to, in a sense, retire. I'm still, I'll hang around the camp and be there. But my days are filled with looking at stars, and then I spend the next couple of weeks writing War and Peace, Anna Karenina, and the brothers Karamazov. I'm going to spend the next 2 weeks writing those 3 books and then publishing them.
Okay, being the origin writer, not just like writing down the words, copying them from the original, you are the author.
Canonically, it was not Tolstoy or Dostoevsky, it was me. Oleg Fein-Yuri. I've decided to spend my time writing.
How relaxing. Mr. Brickithon.
Brickithon's got a lot of catching up to do with his brother and with an old friend. I think at this point, Brickithon is ready to join Bartholomew and completely revitalize the camp, kind of moving up into upper leadership there, running the camp, and making this place as good as it possibly can be.
Delightful. And Pilfer.
Is Patrol X alive? They died, right? But then we rebuilt them?
Giles was working on rebuilding them bit by bit.
Okay, so once Giles is done, I think it's time to take Patrol X out on their maiden voyage as a real crew of a real ship. And I'm gonna, I think, rebuild my ship. I think it got beat up a little bit. A lot has happened. But I'm gonna get a ship. A proper pirate ship. And sail the ocean blue on our maiden voyage as a true pirate crew. We're departing from the lakefront at the camp, which of course connects to the ocean somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how lakes work.
Yeah.
So I think our final shot is going to be the ships sailing off from the lake into the ocean, the camera pulling back up towards the lodge, where we pass by the Brickithon Memorial Bell with a new statue that has been constructed of Master Brickithon and Commander Brickithon next to it, standing with their arms around each other. And the camera continues to pull back an entire aerial view of the camp. Mordor off on one side, and a big old hole in the ground where the Squazniak exploded off on the other side, up into space, where I'm going to pull my final string on Oleg into a Soviet satellite where Gorbachev is sitting with a copy of War and Peace in his hands, and we hear him mutter the name Oleg Fein Yuri. And that's where we're going to conclude our story in the world of the Tension Builders.
Wild.
Amazing.
Oh boy. You see that, everybody? Not only did we wrap up threads from this campaign, we wrapped up threads from the previous campaign.
Yeah.
That's how good we are.
That's how good we are.
That's how much this made sense by the end. Oh gosh. Well, it has been a wild journey, a wilder journey than I was expecting it to be. We've come to the end of the road, and I'm not going to sing any of that song because those are the only words that I know from the entire song. What I'm going to do instead is thank all of you so very much for listening to Improv Tabletop and our conclusion of the Tension Builders, and we'll be back next time with more adventures in a brand new world. So, if you want more, go ahead and subscribe, maybe even give us a review. We would be as happy as an author living a quiet life of peace, a brother reunited with his brother, and a sea captain out on the briny blue if you'd go ahead and give us a review on the podcatcher of your choice. We're also all over social media. Yep. improvtabletop@gmail.com. You can get in touch with us there. Let us know how much you enjoyed, how much everything made sense by the end of this campaign. Now, let's go ahead and shout out our next batch of Sticker Club patrons.
Oh, yeah.
And the people we're shouting out this time are Adrian Garneau, Christine Lines, and Colin Greenwood.
Hey.
These are the people who have been charged with making sure that the exclusion zone of the old Soviet bunker is maintained, that nobody is ever going to get inside again. So you are in charge of your own, huge battalion of workers, making sure that nothing strange ever happens ever again in this camp. Definitely, for sure, never again, never going to happen. And we thank you for all of the work that you're doing to do that. We'll have more Sticker Club patrons to shout out next week. And if you, dear listener, want to join their ranks, consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/improvtabletop, where you can also get things like Discord access, biannual sticker packs, and more, such as our current ongoing patron-exclusive campaign, Help We Beat Strahd in our D&D campaign, and now he's back for revenge in real life.
He is.
That one, as opposed to this game that we have just finished playing in a system that is designed for spooky, scary things to happen in, there's actually some spooky, scary stuff happening in Help We Beat Strahd in our D&D campaign, and now he's back for revenge in real life, which on the surface seems like it would be less scary, but life is what it is. Now let's do a round of plugs, and I'll wrap this up for us. Everybody, we've got a sister podcast, I Cast Fireball, which is currently playing through loosely playing through the Skull and Shackles adventure path from Pathfinder. And man, as I'm recording this just last night, a character of mine that something crazy happened to, if I'm not going to do any spoilers, but there's been some resolution to that in a very emotionally cathartic way. It's going to be a while before that episode gets released, but I hope you all enjoy it when it does. We also have our affiliation with fanrolldice.com, and if you use coupon code VROOMVROOMFIFI, you can get 20% off your order, and a little bit of that comes back to us, which is nice. And the final thing that I am going to plug, I feel like I should probably, this is the end of an entire campaign. It should be something like emotionally resonant and meaningful. What I'm going to do instead, there's a video game called Murder at the Birch Tree Theater. It's a fun video game. If any of you have played the Golden Idol games, Case of the Golden Idol and Rise of the Golden Idol, those are some of my favorite deduction games. Picking up clues and investigating scenes to try and figure out what really happened, putting all the details together. A game that actually lets you use your deductive reasoning to be a detective in a scene. Murder at the Birch Tree Theater is like those, but it's set in a cartoon community theater where everybody's an animal, kind of Arthur style. It's fun. It's delightful. Those are some of my favorite games of all time. And now they're combining it with theater, which this may surprise you, but I'm a bit of a fan. Go check out Murder at the Birch Tree Theater. It's developed entirely by, if I recall correctly, a guy who works as a composer and conductor on Broadway.
Wow.
So fun way to support an artist by supporting the video game that he has created. With that, shoot dang everybody, thanks for joining us here in the world of the Tension Builders. I'm Ned Wilcock, your host and GM, and I've been joined by
Caleb Anderton. Go have fun with friends and family.
Christian Randall, enjoy that it's finally warm.
Evan Peterson. Do pirates have a way they say goodbye traditionally in media?
Yar.
Yar.
Much love and stuff, everybody. We'll catch you next time on Improv Tabletop.
I'm gonna go pee my pants.